Previously on Logan the Vampire Slayer. And I went to a warehouse.
And we fucked up my fucking car.
We let a vampire into the house for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why.
Because he's really nice. And then the Slayer got in trouble with their handler, which was fine.
Watcher, really. Not much handling happening.
My book of spells got stolen from my dorm. And then I did some awesome magic, and then I nearly died, and now I'm nearly dead in a bed. And I drank some kind of weird shit and had a weird dream.
The only sound that comes out of your mouth is mirrors.
Each generation, someone must stand against the vampires, demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the chosen one. She is the Slayer.
Morgana steps out the door, closes it quietly behind her, pulls out her lighter, and just leans up against the wall or whatever. And she stands there quiet for a minute and then looks at Ledge and says, "Hey, I don't know if I said thanks, but thanks. Saved my ass back there."
He seems really distracted, and he's just kind of staring off. This is really weird.
Why? Because of my job, or because...
Your job, their job, he points to the house. Any of you could kill me at any moment, or try to.
Look, I do what I do when people are assholes, and you don't seem like an asshole. Like, I wouldn't kill you just because you're a vampire. I'd kill you because you're being shitty to humanity, Like, there's a difference.
Those are good standards.
Thanks. It's kind of decency. I don't know.
I feel like the Slayer and the Watcher don't exactly have that mentality.
Well, they got their second mythos and rules and bullshit. I just have a job that I'm good at. The demons and the vamps and the whatevers, they're not so bad. They're an inevitability of life at this point for me. I have to hide what I do, from society. It's a thing. Even the Slayer gotta hide what she do, what she does. It's the secrecy that gets to you. The having to lie and pretend all of the time that you're normal, that you don't know all this shit. And look at me. I go into a respectable store, I go somewhere to take care of a job, to do something, and I am not welcome in a lot of places. Most people would take a look at you and probably let you in wherever the fuck you want to go, and then they look at me and anyway, it's kind of shitty. And then having to lie to everybody, and that's the part that keeps me up at night, I think.
I don't think I would have guessed that. Not from you. You seem to have a handle on things.
I do. I've accepted it. Doesn't mean I like it. How old are you?
I've lost count, honestly. A few hundred years.
That must be cool. To see how much the world has changed?
It was cool the first 100 or so.
Really? Huh.
It doesn't change that much, not really. Or I guess the world changes, but the people don't. Not as much as you'd think.
No, I don't think people change. People are bastards no matter where you go.
Yeah.
You saying it never gets better? Nothing's gotten better since?
Some things get better, but a lot of things don't.
That's reassuring. There's still a part of me, though, that does this job. Sometimes I want to know that what I'm doing is worth it.
Neither of us would still be doing what we're doing if it wasn't worth it. Our scene opens as Penelope sits straight up out of bed, one word escaping from her lips as she wakes up from a nightmare, and she says, "Mirrors." Please describe Penelope to us and tell us what we see of her before she leaves the darkness of the curtain-drawn bedroom.
So I imagine that I sit up in the bed and I have this kind of moment and I scramble out of the bed, but it's very not coordinated. I've been very much so injured the day prior. And so it's a fall out of the bed and it's a hit the nightstand and, clutching the ankle and just hopping around and just trying to get to the door, but in a room she's never been in. So she doesn't know where the door is. And so it takes her a minute, but she kind of throws open the door and is still trying to figure out where she is as she's trying to figure out how to get to somebody to tell somebody something really important. That tip of your tongue dream feeling, where it's like, I can't forget.
Claire did not sleep. Like, as the camera moves to the living room, we see Claire did not sleep at all. And we see her with her, short, dark hair, green eyes, kind of rubbing her temples and blinking. She's been online, searching for information that could help. And there's a pot of coffee that's, half drank already, as some of you are beginning to stir and wake up. Elijah had stayed outside until, just before sunrise, and then he came back in. And he is, as you're waking up, Logan, he is standing near the door, kind of keeping an eye out the windows the best as he can. And we see black hair cut short, trimmed a little too neatly. These piercing blue eyes that are almost gray. He has a black on black suit, a little ripped from last night's events. But he stands dignified enough, and he seems to hear your breathing change as you wake up. Just this slight, he knows you're awake before you even know you're awake sort of thing. And he kind of looks over at you before you even start stirring. And who do we see waking up on this couch? I'm pretty sure you're on the couch.
I would imagine that Logan has probably snuck in and crashed on the couch multiple times. So, there's a pillow blanket stash underneath because Claire doesn't put anything under her couch, so she doesn't assume there's anything under her couch. So I have a little stash of a sleeping bag / bedroll / fleece blanket in case it gets a little chilly, and then I have this pillow, and sometimes there's a couple plushies under there, but nobody talks about that, so we didn't bring those out this time because there's people around, so they're gonna stay down there. But Logan has the messiest bedhead because at this point, who knows when the last time that they've showered is, and they're just seemingly half took off their sweatshirt or whatever they were wearing at night. So it's just one arm underneath their shirt, and the other shirt's half off, and their sports bra is just hanging out, and there's just got one sock on, one sock off that came off in the middle of the night, and just sprawled on the couch like this, way too comfortable. And then just kind of rustles up and looks over and sees brooding man over there in the corner with his, standing doorway thing, and kind of looks down at their state and is okay, and puts their arm back into their shirt, and it's just starts looking for their other sock. This is kind of embarrassing.
As you're looking, Elijah just points to where the sock is and says, "Your watcher says no class today." And then he kind of crosses his arms and glances towards the kitchen and lowers his voice a little bit. She seems a little young for a watcher, don't you think?
Logan is thrown off by the no class comment because Logan has lots of class, so clearly, and then takes a minute and is all wait, I'm sorry, young for, yeah, what do you mean young?
I mean, aren't most watchers, experienced? He uses his words carefully. I mean, she's only a few years older than you. Seems a little weird. Maybe I'm wrong.
Logan's never known another Watcher, I imagine. So Logan's kind of like, is it weird? Okay, all right. And kind of just shakes it off and is like, so, yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that kind of stuff. I just kind of, kill what I'm told. What about you and a daddy vampire thing, monster, demon from hell?
He like breathes in to begin to say something, but this is when Penelope comes from down the hall. I assume with like this kind of urgency as you're like stumbling through trying to figure out where you are. It's like the camera's on Elijah and we just see Penelope come out of the hallway like, I have to tell you something. Penelope, you have regained 2d10 life points. Reroll any 1s or 2s. You sense that like whatever that was that you drank last night is kind of helping you feel a little bit better. Those are not the rules, but this is a 2-shot, so I don't care. And yeah, as you're coming through, the sound of all of the movement and the chatter, the hunters are also beginning to stir awake. You will heal 1d10 life points from your sleep. Reroll 1s or 2s. Logan, you're fully healed.
Yeah, I imagine at the conversation, Morgana Davenier wakes up. She's kind of a mess. She cleaned off most of the viscera from yesterday, but she's got yesterday's makeup on. Her hair's been in the same gelled position for like a week probably, who can say. She's got colored glasses on, even inside, leather jacket, tank top, pretty basic, leather pants. She's kicked the boots off out front because the Watcher would probably kill her if she didn't. But she's sleeping on a dining room chair facing the door, feet up on a coffee table or some shit, and her gun beside her, or a big ass sword beside her, on the floor. And she just opens her eyes, uncrosses her legs, and stands up, kind of like sore a little bit. And then she just kind of nods to everybody and steps into the kitchen, grabs coffee, and then goes outside to smoke. Because again, Watcher would kill her if she,
I don't remember where I fell asleep exactly, but I feel like I probably wake up in a different area than where I fell asleep.
That's fair.
Naomi is a little Naomi wakes up and is immediately too perky. Like, they just like pop up and she looks wildly around, realizes where she is, remembers like what's happened, and like whoever's looking at her can see their face go through this like whole range of emotions as they're like remembering all the stuff that happened. And then they kind of like look around kind of wildly and see Morgana. Hey, what now?
Now it's coffee, kid. Just give me a minute.
We gotta get a jump on this problem, though. We got research to do. We gotta go out.
Turn it like this much, kid. Just this much. Turn it. Give me like 5 minutes, okay? I'm just gonna.
Okay, but we have to do research.
The Watcher's in there. Go talk to her. Go talk to the Watcher. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Watcher. And you see, like she kind of just scrambles into the kitchen. They're probably like very average height, average build, kinky curly dark hair that's like back in like a little headband, big like thick glasses, too cheerful. They're wearing a very kind of like basic looking outfit, t-shirt, jeans, jacket, little like Van sneakers, and they still have like blood and stuff on them. Like their jeans are like ripped from where they like fell, and their palms are like red with like road rash almost, from all of that. They have like assorted like dinosaur stickers, like not stickers, like dinosaur bandages like all over themselves, like to kind of like fix the problem, but it just makes them look more erratic. And they get into the kitchen. I assume that's where Claire is.
Yes, as you're like moving into the kitchen, Claire's actually has like a tray of like just various coffee mugs and has put the half-empty pot of coffee on the tray to bring it in here as well. And you almost run into each other and she's like, "Oh, sorry."
Hey, sorry. Yeah, I was told to report to you. Looks like you're kind of busy, but also walk and talk. Okay, so I have questions. We're supposed to go out there and figure out this like monster situation because that thing was really fucking big, and like I thought the vampires were just like, well, the guy that's been around here. I thought the vampires were just that, but like then the thing was like really big, and I don't quite know where do we start? I'm not a slayer, like I don't have like cool skills, but I'm working on it, and I just want to be helpful.
Okay. Well, we start with coffee, and she sets the tray down on the coffee table. We let everybody wake up. And then none of us have ever dealt with this before. You need to just know that going in. We're not going to have answers, but we'll brainstorm. We'll brainstorm as soon as everyone has coffee. Logan, can you help me with something in the kitchen?
And Logan like scans her face to see if this is like an actual question or if this is rhetorical, and then I'm gonna assume this is rhetorical. Okay. And then looks over at the vampire guy and then kind of like, I'll be back, and then follows Claire into the kitchen.
Yeah, I think Logan and Claire head into the kitchen, and this is around the time that like Morgana has taken out the lighter and moved to go outside, and this leaves Penelope and Naomi standing here in the living room.
Oh, hey, you're better.
Better may be a bit of an overstatement. There was something I was coming down here to tell. Did you know there's a lot of doorways in that hallway? I tried like 3 before I got here. God, my head hurts.
No, I've been sleeping in the corner all night. Oh, a corner. I don't know which corner. Whatever. I've been asleep.
But there was something I came down here to tell you. Pottery? No. Mirrors. That's what I came to tell you. I'm not sure why.
I need one?
No, you look amazing. Actually, it's a little insulting how good you look first thing in the morning, because I and Penelope like had on like a I don't care sweater that's kind of frumpy. Yesterday, today it's definitely I don't care because it's completely lost all shape. It's no longer like cool frumpy. It's like, did you wash that frumpy? And I'm like, because you look so well put together. As she tries to like, but no, something about mirrors. I woke up and all I could think about was mirrors. But why? That is the question.
I mean, vampires can't see themselves in it, so I don't know how that makes it helpful.
Is that one of those myth ones that's like not really true, but it is, or is it like true?
Elijah answers from the dark corner. If we want to see ourselves, we see ourselves.
Shit, put some bells on him. God.
Sorry.
Yeah, but like, can I see you in a mirror?
If I don't want to be seen, you will not see me in a mirror.
So it's a choice.
It's a choice.
Oh, man, can you imagine? Oh, I'd be so sneaky.
I mean, I'm really good at avoiding my reflection. Like first thing in the morning, can look right past it, like it's not even there. But to like other people, I'm sure it doesn't work. So wait, that's all vampires? Like even that old ancient one, like all of them?
I have no idea about the ancient one.
I don't think I have a mirror big enough for him.
Yeah, that's true. Is there a reason? Is it like a defense mechanism? Is it you guys have like self-doubt problem? Like I'm just asking.
Well, I can't really speak for that last part for everyone, but no, it's more for, hey, I've looked the same for hundreds of years. If I keep showing up on cameras or mirrors, there's proof. Mirrors not so much, but same concept.
Gotcha. Do you think it's like an evolved like adaptation? Like over centuries and centuries and centuries and millennia that vampires develop the ability to not see themselves in mirrors and cameras.
Maybe.
So I wonder if the Ancient One would have that. Like, if he's been asleep this whole time, he wouldn't have evolved, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't know. But I definitely know I wanted to talk about mirrors. But I could really go for a glass of water because I can still taste that you can consider tea, but is not tea. If she tells you it's tea, it's not tea, Naomi, okay?
Well, I'm not supposed to have anything with caffeine in it because somebody said I was a little too intense. So I'm just gonna eat my granola bar.
No, I think you're fine. I'm gonna grab 2 cups of coffee. No, you're fine. You're good.
They've got a kudos bar that they're just like idly munching on.
Fantastic.
Kudos.
And then we cut over to the kitchen as Claire and Logan have walked into the kitchen. You do see that Claire is actually like actively making breakfast. Like, she's taken out enough plates for everyone, and as soon as you walk in, she's like getting, busy prepping stuff, and there's this moment where you're like, oh, she likes taking care of people, and like this moment just kind of clicks in your head for a moment as she's like scooping food onto plates, and she is trying to sound casual, but she says, I wanted to apologize for yesterday. I responded immaturely to what happened, and I just need you to understand that I worry about you. I was assigned to you because we're close in age, Logan. This was supposed to be a good thing. It was supposed to make us more agreeable. I'm not trying to make your life harder, okay? It's already hard enough. I'm just trying to keep you alive. I'm just trying to keep you safe. And I've heard of all of these stories of Watchers and Slayers butting heads constantly. Slayers always disobeying and putting themselves into dangerous situations, and I thought we could avoid that, and I don't want that. And she's like scooping way too much food onto one of the plates as she's talking, just like absentmindedly, continuously scooping the same plate. I just want us to be honest with each other above anything else, okay? So I don't want you to feel like you have to lie to me. I don't want you to feel like you have to sneak around to go do things. Just, if you're probably gonna do it, just tell me. It makes it easier to protect you. And I know you're always gonna do what you think is right over anything else. You were going to go into that warehouse last night, no matter what, and I'm thankful that the hunters were there, and Penelope, your classmate, a witch who performed a heavy enough spell to nearly wipe herself out. You had strong people with you last night. It's way more than I could have ever done, and I don't know what I thought I was gonna do. I was going over it on the drive to the warehouse. I had a gun and I had a stake. And she kind of like chuckles. I was mad at you for putting yourself in danger, and I was driving 30 over the speed limit to get to that warehouse and bust in with a gun and a stake. So I'm sorry I was so angry. She has realized that she has overloaded one plate and is now scraping things onto other plates. I'd like to start over today, so I offer breakfast and coffee as a peace offering. And she just kind of like holds a couple plates up for you to take.
And Logan just has like the biggest grin on their face right now, and like grabs the plates from Claire, starts walking backwards towards the door to kind of like go to like serve, and is like, I'm sorry, what was that first part? You're sorry? You were wrong? Is that what I heard? Yeah. And then he walks out of the kitchen to go serve the plates to their now friends that they've adopted.
Amazing.
I like to imagine Morgana walked in at that moment, overheard it, looked at Naomi and said, "Still don't think that's not. You listen to me, okay? Just listen. That's it. You just okay. And then I'll grab a plate.
We could be friends, though. Like
from Logan.
We could. I mean,
wait, you don't think we're friends? I'm hurt.
like we're friends.
No,
but I mean,
it's too late. You've already crushed my feelings. I'm already heartbroken. I'm gonna go drink my coffee and just be sad.
you see Naomi like scurry after with a giant plate of food, just like shoveling it into their face nervously.
Claire comes in and looks at Penelope and says, "How are you feeling today?"
I'd like to say, like, great, thank you for the use of your bed, but no, I feel awful. I would suggest, just kindly, that you try a different brand of tea.
Claire just glances at Logan and then doesn't say anything.
It gave me weird nightmares all night long. I do feel better. I won't lie. It was helpful, but I feel like it's like stuck in my throat. Like I can still taste it all day long. I dreamed about stuff, and like I came down here in a tizzy with like mirrors. I have to talk about mirrors, and me and Naomi were talking about mirrors, and then what's his face over here chimed in out of nowhere like a bat out of the darkness, scared the crap out of me. But yeah, there was a thing about mirrors that I cannot recall why I wanted to talk about it. But yeah, new tea.
I
Morgana
don't think
looks
that
at
dream had
Claire.
anything to do with the tea.
Yeah, you ever had prophetic dreams or some shit? Is that a thing witches do? I don't actually know. Cause that,
Some.
yeah.
Are you sure you don't
yeah.
remember anything else?
I mean, not off the top of my head. I mean, I could try to. Give me a few minutes. I'll try to see if I can, like, work backwards in the dream. You know how, and see if I can maybe come up with what it was. But it seems so fuzzy. And
Okay.
so she's gonna like set down her plate and kind of like over exaggerate the meditation thing, like trying to center
Yeah.
herself, peeking an eye open every once in a while to see if people are watching her.
Logan's watching.
Just
And-
staring.
Just like, do you remember anything yet? While this is happening to Claire, pulls this like whiteboard out from behind where the TV is, pulls this whiteboard out and like pops open a marker and is like, okay, we'll start with what we know. And she starts writing, the vamps and the apocalypse demons were working together, right, to conjure this being. And she just writes like really sloppily, vamps and apocalypse. No, vamps plus apocalypse equals ancient. What else?
Opens one eye. They stole my spell book from me, and they somehow knew I had it.
Yeah, possible that the dorms are compromised. How did they know the book was there? And writes down spell book. Elijah speaks up. Logan and I can probably be affected by this ancient being. And Claire's like, yeah, that's a good one. And writes that down, like, really angrily.
The bad guys, the apocalypse demons, they were kind of coming after us, and then like there were vampires, and the vampires had a book, and then like I tried to kick one of them, and I did like really, it was a pretty good kick, but like it did not stop them. And then this thing came out, and it smashed everything, and then it ruined Morg's car, and now we're here.
Elijah's like, okay, we need to take a step back from this. We need to step away from it for a second. He's kind of like leaning up against like the front door at this point, and he says, put yourself in the shoes of a supernatural being for a moment. What would make you risk your life and free will to wake up something this ancient, something that shouldn't exist at all? What would have to happen for you to decide that that was the right thing to do? Because they have to be getting something out of this, or they wouldn't be doing it. We might be vampires, but we still enjoy practicing self-preservation.
Well, didn't you say they'd be like extra powerful or something? Maybe there's something coming that they want the boost for.
Oh yeah, there's the old power up. They got the power, so we get something more powerful, and they get something more powerful, and we go around and around and around till you end up with a big ancient vampire.
It's like getting the cat to take care of mice, but then you got 50 cats, and you got to get whatever the.
So what is this ancient one combating? The Slayer? Seems like overkill, no offense.
It's true, though. Getting enough amps in a room, even a Slayer, has a hard time.
I mean, take them a lot, kind of flattered. But
Well, unless they know something about the Slayer that she doesn't know.
Maybe they know that the Slayer can be affected.
you keep saying this, and honestly, it was like it wasn't like affected. I don't know if that's the word I would use. It's more like
Claire says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did anyone else feel anything?"
No.
affected's such
Negative.
a strong word, maybe
But it's a big problem if you are, though. Because, I'm good, but you could kick my ass to Sunday.
I mean, maybe swayed. Maybe swayed's a better word. Maybe.
Swayed feels like a worse word.
Naomi leans over and is like, swayed is way worse. It means that you're like, not just like you're feeling it, but like also you're susceptible to it, and it's starting to make you feel like a little funny. So
Yeah, I don't know how she grades her words, but it's definitely way up there on the word.
I'm not trying to correct you or anything. Like, you're the Slayer. You're like important. Like, I don't think Penelope. We're not trying to, like harsh your vibe. But yeah, like maybe not swayed.
Yeah.
Good.
Maybe sensitive. You're sensitive.
Sensitive. That's it. I'm sensitive.
And like, no one should get in trouble because they're sensitive.
See?
Your feelings are
but-
valid.
But if
Okay,
Logan's
she's not
sensitive,
in trouble.
the rest of us are in trouble if
Yes.
they're sensitive. So, it's. But yeah, maybe they wanted. There's something going on with the Slayers. Is there I don't know. Does it ever happen? There's more than one, and maybe there's more coming or something, and they want to combat that and take control of them into some kind of undead fucking army. I don't know.
Okay, forgetting about the why for a moment. It's probably, like most things, better to take care of this before anything happens. And if that's the case, then we're wanting to go after this ancient being, right? Before it comes for us?
Yeah.
How do
Here's
we
a
do that?
question. Here's a question for the group. Beings like that shit wasn't buried in the backyard. They had to ship that thing here. We saw it get delivered. Why would you bring it here, of all places? I mean, there's places with more people and more lunch. There's places with more vamps. There's... Hell, wherever they dug it up, maybe would have been easier to hide what they were doing, away from Slayers. So why the fuck they bring it here?
Blair turns and writes that on the board, why here, underlines here, question mark. It's like violent marker tapping against the board.
I mean, going back to the dream too. Okay, so you can't see yourself in mirrors and photographs and shit. If that's an evolution, if we follow that backwards, maybe critters that don't... The way evolution works, right? The things that can't handle the thing, they die off. And the things that can handle the thing, they keep going, right? So, what if things in the past couldn't handle mirrors? Maybe we find a big shiny ass building or some shit, lure it next to something like that.
I'm down for big shiny ass building. And finding one.
Claire says, okay, luring. How do we do that?
Pointed
Probably-
look at the Slayer.
You probably need
Okay.
bait.
Bait, which I am not a fan of Logan being bait, especially if Logan is sensitive.
Well, Logan, you don't have to go by yourself. I can be bait too. We can walk and talk and drink decaffeinated mocha lattes and just look Elijah, you delicious. Is that the right vernacular?
Be cool, Naomi. These also the Slayer. If the Slayer did become sensitive and you were the only person there, you'd be kind of fucked. And I
Yeah,
don't,
that would be a problem.
that's a problem. Yeah, I don't, listen, you're doing great, but you cannot fight a Slayer.
Well,
Okay,
I mean, I wouldn't want
maybe.
to. I wouldn't want to fight her. I mean, I wouldn't mind if like. Never mind. You can punch me in the face if you need to. I'm just
Please
saying
don't.
it wouldn't be her fault. Like she needs support. I'm just saying like they need someone who's, maybe Elijah can go. If you punch him in the face, it's not the end of the world.
Elijah is like chuckling in his hands, like trying to stop from laughing, but you can see like the shoulders shrugging from laughing at this. Yeah, that's a possibility too.
Well, no, but you're both sensitive. So that's
Does it cancel it out? I don't.
No, it doesn't fucking cancel it out.
Are you saying I should be by myself?
No.
No.
Oh God, no.
Maybe there is
I
a
don't-
way to disable the thrall effect somehow. Maybe we haven't tried that angle
Thrall?
yet.
I feel like thrall's a way worse word than sway.
Yeah, but Elijah can use it because, I mean, he's susceptible to. What about it? Okay, have you been under such a thing before? Do you know what? Is it
No.
the sounds? Is it the smells? Whatever? All right.
Definitely not the smell, I can tell you that much.
Is there a spell or something? He looks at Penelope with like a hope.
Maybe. So I'm gonna go grab my spell book and start trying to flip through it and see if anything kind of rings a bell.
Okay. Penelope, why don't you roll an occultism roll for us?
A 14.
All right, so you're like flipping through this book for a moment, and like as you're doing that, there's conversation in the background of the kind of like, this thing is a vampire. Shouldn't a stake to the heart work? And Elijah's like, well, decapitation if we want to be safe. And it's just like those just stereotypical ways to kill a vampire conversations happening in the background. But you are looking at this book, and a lot of the things that you're finding in here are for mortals. They're for just normal ass people, like warding, uninviting a vampire into your home, things like that. You're not finding anything to like shield a supernatural being from another supernatural being. It doesn't seem like that's been much of a problem or a concern in the past. Kind of coming to that conclusion, looking up, everyone's kind of talking at once, and the front door of the house actually bursts inward and open. Elijah is like flung over onto the floor itself. The whiteboard, or the little whiteboard slides and smacks against the wall on the other side. And in one sudden moment, you see, standing in the doorway, the Ancient One. You see little tiny burn marks on the skin, sizzling from the sunlight, but apparently not sensitive enough to do any real damage to it, like any vampires that you've seen before. And it looks in at you, and then it begins climbing through the doorway with no need for an invitation. And Claire just snaps and says, "Out!" to Elijah, and motioning towards Logan, but you get the gist. Like, just please, like pointing towards the back door, get the hell out of here. And we're all gonna roll initiative.
Heh.
The Ancient and Elijah both go first. Naomi goes next. Claire and Logan go at the same time. Then Penelope, then Morgana. So that is our initiative. So, that being said, since Naomi is the next turn, I want to know what it looks like you're about to do.
I imagine countering whatever it is that this horrible monster is about to do is probably what they're going to be distracted by, because I am reckless.
Okay. In that case, I would like for you to go ahead and roll me any strength-based skill.
That's an 8.
Okay. In that case, you do get like shoved over as this Ancient One is climbing in through the door. An arm comes out. It doesn't slice you, but it pushes you, and you stumble over. You slam into the TV and like fall down onto like probably one knee, stumbling over as it just shoves. And you hear this shriek come from it as it looks around. You see the nostrils flare as its eyes go from one person to another, to another, to another, and then it spots Logan. And you see, as soon as it spots Logan, it braces itself and pounces. And you see, has its arms like spread out. It doesn't even get to fully spread out the wings themselves. The arms spread, and you see these flaps of skin just spreading out as it launches toward you. Right before it gets to you, it is slammed into in the side by Elijah, and both of them slam into the coffee table, roll over, slam into the couch. This ancient one's like wing slams into the wall and goes through the drywall on the other side, and Elijah's just like trying to hold on top of it. You can see fangs fully extended, just snarling down, and that is currently their turn. Naomi, you are able to take your turn now.
I get up and I grab like whatever is by me. If I got slammed into the living room, I imagine it's probably like an iron poker from the fireplace or something like that.
Sure.
Side note, I know that this is not the Summers residence, but that's what's in my brain.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I grab that and like I kind of brandish it, and I'm like looking for an opening to like hopefully not hurt the wrong vampire. And I want to just try to like attack it, like just drive it as deep as I can.
Okay, so you like lunge forward, try to stab into this creature. As you're coming forward, you feel the wing that is free from the wall is like just flailing around, and it hits the fire poker, and you are not able to get this hit in. You still keep a hold of the fire poker. It didn't knock it out of your hand or anything, but that was not quite enough, and it just knocks it away.
Okay. I probably like try to maneuver myself like around the side, since I know it's going that way. I just like maneuver it like myself almost behind it, to hopefully give some support in the next round.
Perfect. Logan, whatever you are doing, you hear Claire saying, "Get out of the house," but you are free to take whatever action you would like.
All this has happened, like, right? Like, okay. I'm just going to, like, Logan thinks about jumping in, and then remembers that Claire actually apologized recently, and that was pretty cool. And so Logan's gonna be nice this time and actually listen to Claire, and carefully kind of steps over whatever is happening in front of them in the mess, and then kind of starts slow walking and then like picking up pace as they kind of like get through to the kitchen, and realizes they don't know we don't have a safety meeting place. We don't know where we're going. So Logan just keeps walking and goes outside and just, I guess, stands there waiting to see what's next.
Yeah, you just rip open the back door. Meanwhile, in the living room, the rest of you watch as Claire takes 2 steps up towards this, cat bundle of vampires that's happening on this couch, reaches over, grabs onto the back of Elijah's suit, just flings him off so that Elijah hits and rolls, and Elijah stands back up, and for a moment Elijah looks at Claire. Eyes are red, like crimson red, and Claire is just standing with one hand out like, don't even fucking try me. And she's just pointing to the door and says, "Out now, go." And you see Elijah kind of blink and begin turning to run the same direction that Logan had gone. And that is Claire's turn, now standing in the way of where Logan had ran, and this ancient who is trying to pull the wing from the drywall itself.
So I'm going to look around and see everybody making it for the back door, and I'm going to run for the back door, but as I run past the couch, I'm going to try to grab the fleece blanket or something of blanket type material, because I know that Elijah's headed out into what is effectively his demise, and so I'm trying to scoop up something big enough to cover him with while clutching my book.
Yeah, I will say there's probably something on the floor, actually, from where Naomi had fallen asleep and kind of moved around a little bit, and you kind of scoop that up as you are sprinting for this kitchen.
All right. So, as I mentioned earlier, my big ass sword was next to me when I was sleeping, so it's next to me now. So I'm gonna point the kid out. Get out. Get the fuck out. And I'm gonna take my big ass sword and just try to distract it. I know I can't fucking kill it, but I'm gonna distract it. So I'm gonna try to hit it twice. The second,
All right.
with the -2. Okay, that's a 10 plus some stuff. 10 plus 19, 28. That's a 28.
That is going to be 3 levels of success on that as well.
So, base damage for that is 16.
So 19.
Awesome. So yeah, Morgana picks up the giant sword, drops her coffee, picks up the giant sword, the coffee, and takes 2 wild swings at this thing, stuck in the wall, putting herself between Naomi and everybody else, and the thing. And she plants herself there to wait till they get the fuck out so she can get the fuck out.
Fantastic. Back up to the top, we see this, the wing pulled out of the drywall. We see the 2 slashes across one of the shoulders. It shrieks at you, Morgana, but you see it's looking at the faces left in the room. The one it's looking for is not here. And you see it immediately looks at Claire. You see, as it goes to rush forward, Claire is standing in the way, and you see it, like, push one claw over. You hear claw piercing skin, and then Claire is flung across the room, slamming into the TV on the other side. Falls down, the TV, like, the glass shatters, the shelf crumbles and starts falling apart as Claire falls there, and this ancient one just pushes through. Penelope, go ahead and just give me a dexterity roll.
A 2?
All right. Before you can even make it to the door itself, you feel like a backhand just slam into your side. You are shoved over. Your breath is knocked out of you as you feel your ribs bruise against the kitchen sink as you're slammed into that. And as you look back, you just see the back half of this ancient one crawling out of this house, shrieking. It pushes through. And at this point, the ancient one, Elijah, and Logan are all outside. Logan, you spin around to see this creature just sprinting towards you, and you see it actually pushes up and flaps once, flaps twice, and I need you to roll dexterity. You can add acrobatics if you'd like.
16.
Okay. So you see this thing coming. You immediately move to dive out of the way of this creature, but you see the back claws come up and pierce into your shoulders and begin lifting you off of the ground.
Rude.
You are currently being lifted into the air. Seeing this happen, Elijah's like, just looks around. You have noticed the sunlight does not seem to be affecting Elijah, but that's a later problem. As Elijah sees this happen, he just like lunges forward and jumps up, like basketball player style, jumps up and just grabs onto one of your legs. And you feel the grip kind of loosen from this creature, but not quite enough to let you go.
I haul ass as I was directed to do. Am I allowed to just run away? I was told to get out, so I'm trying to go. I've been out the front door because I'm supposed to be getting out. And that's the nearest door to me.
Perfect.
Yeah,
you immediately turn and book it that direction. As you are running out this door, you see in the front yard of this house, you see many creatures. Apocalypse demons, vampires. You see vampires with like cloaks on where you can still see steam coming. Like they are in the sunlight, they are burning, but something is making them be here. And there is just this terrifying wall of creatures just staring at you as you are trying to exit this house. You can see they're in the yard in like a half circle, but none of them seem to be trying to stop you. They seem to be waiting for a command.
I think I probably pushed through them and realizing that the party is in the back. I like try to go around the side. Over my shoulder though, I feel like I yell, "Fucking crowded out here!"
Logan, I would assume would be thrashing about, trying to get themselves free from the grasp of this thing, and then also thoroughly unimpressed with Elijah's ability to get them down. Oh, that's a 12. 'cause
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
Ooh. Yeah, so you are like slamming into this thing, trying to get it to let you go, and it's just holding on, and you feel yourself getting a little bit higher in the air.
I'm annoyed.
Logan says out loud. Penelope, slamming into that sink, instead of like hitting your ribs, you slid over and actually like hit your head. And there was this moment of like, this moment of trying to keep conscious after hitting your head that hard, and your entire dream comes back to you. I will say it will not help you in this moment right now.
Perfect.
But I will let you know what it is as soon as I'm able.
Wonderful. So I think, having seen Claire get slashed and tossed, I'm probably going to try to run back and slide towards her and try to use that blanket to kind of wrap around wherever she's been wounded and try to get her stable enough that I can get her up and out.
Okay. Do you have anything in Doctor?
I do. I have a 1 point in Doctor.
Great. Let's do Intelligence and Doctor.
A 7.
Okay. So heading up, you see Claire has this huge spot on her head that is just matted with blood. It's kind of like run down her face. She's sitting up when you get in there, but her eyes are like, she's having a hard time focusing. And so you're rushing up, you kind of slide over to her, and you're trying to help at least figure out where the wound is. Like, you're kind of like wiping blood from the face, and she's like, I'm fine. And she's just looking around, and she's like, and just kind of touching her head, but you are there helping her get up, basically.
Unlike my protege, I'm gonna go out the back where the Slayer went. See that they're in the air. Am I in the backyard, yeah?
Yeah.
Is there a hose?
Hmm.
Or like
Let's
a
see.
tennis fence or something, you know?
Since I totally forgot about luck points, you can spend a luck point, and there is a hose.
I'm gonna grab the hose. I assume it's got one of those little sprayer things on the front, and I'm gonna throw that and shout, "Hey, Slayer!" and just yeet it into the fucking sky. Either Elijah or the Slayer hopefully will catch it, and I will keep the other end, if I can like hold on to the back of the house or something, to try to, you know what I'm going for.
I do, but Jin's face just got me. Whew. Okay. All right. So you throw the hose. Perfect.
I do, yeah.
Great. And I'll say it is technically the Ancient and Elijah's turn next. So before that, on the vamp's turn, all of these other creatures get to go as well. And Naomi, as you are running around the house to get to the back to try to, reconvene with everybody, turn the corner, and as you do, one of them is standing right there. They don't make like an aggressive move towards you necessarily. They do reach out and like grab onto your arms, and as they do, their skin is exposed, and you see just the sun just completely just burning their skin, but they just don't seem to realize it. And they are just staring, and they say, "You don't know what's coming. You would have been there with us if you did." And they're just staring into your eyes, just keeping you from like passing them, but they're not attacking you. And
I don't care that he's not attacking me. I would like to try to kind of like use my momentum, like as he's grabbing me, like use his force against him and flip him so that his cloak kind of flies back and all of him is exposed to the sunlight.
Fantastic. At this point, everyone in the backyard, as this hose is being thrown, the ground itself kind of rumbles a little bit. You see a crack kind of forming in the backyard, and I'm going to roll to see if Elijah catches this hose. So you throw this hose, and Elijah, like holding on to Logan's leg still, glances over just in time to see like the sprayer of the hose come up. He reaches out, grabs onto it, so he is holding on to the other end of this hose. And as soon as he grabs onto it, the backyard just explodes upward into shrapnel and dust. And you see all of you in the backyard, and probably Naomi would probably be able to see this as well. It's so much. You all see something come up out of the earth below. You see this enormous writhing mass formed of like what I could only describe as like ropey tentacles. An immediate smell of open graves. You smell this deep earth smell, and once it climbs out, it is standing 15 feet tall with these crab-like legs around it as it has climbed up out of the ground, and you see it just looking around, ? There are no eyes, there's no head, it's just this tangled mass of tentacles.
I feel like Morgana in that moment is looking up at this thing and goes, motherfucker.
Oh no. And I'm gonna have everyone make a test for fear.
I have nerves of steel, immune to fear by unnatural causes. But it says if I'm forced to make a roll to resist supernatural fear, I gain a +4 bonus. Should I take the +4 bonus, or am I?
Yes, you will gain a +4, yes.
Okay, 8.
10 for Morgana.
A 13.
12 again.
Naomi, I need you to roll.
A 2.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Carrie, why?
So I need you to decide how your character handles this. But this was basically like a critical failure on resisting this fear. Like, it's called total fear. You're freaking out. And I don't know what that looks like for Naomi. I don't know if that means she just like throws up over on the, like, whatever that means for Naomi individually, you can decide. In this moment though, as this has busted out of this thing, I'm gonna say it actually like slams into the hose and like yanks on Elijah, who then is holding on to Logan. So I'm gonna have Logan just roll a d10 for me. And I will also roll for Elijah.
I got a 2.
Okay. Okay. So as the hose is ripped, there's a moment, I think Morgana would see this pretty clearly. There's a moment where Elijah realizes he has a really good grip on the hose, but if he keeps a hold of the hose, he will no longer be holding on to Logan. And you see him let go of the hose itself, and the hose falls slack as this Ancient One is flying higher and higher into the air. And with that, Naomi, what happens?
Yeah, I see that, and it totally fucks with me. I had gone to, I feel like everything that I've eaten this morning is just like on the ground, and I'm horrified. I'm like, the vampire's still holding me, right? Like, they're still like clutching me, because I don't think I rolled to like attack him. So this vampire's like clutching me, and I probably puke in its face. I'm so sorry. That's terrible. But that's what happens. And then I immediately start to apologize to this vampire. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. You're covered in puke. I can smell it. Get away from me. Oh, get away. No. And I'm like smacking at it. Get away from me, please.
And I would say that reaction is enough to make this vampire like let go of you and kind of stumble backwards a little bit, just out of pure shock. It was probably prepared for many attacks, but that was not one of them. You just see it like backing up a little bit. I'm going to say Logan, Elijah, and the Ancient One are too far away to be in this exact scene at this moment. So skipping over to Penelope, what do you do?
I think there's a moment where me and Claire feel the whole house shake, and we both kind of have that moment where we stop like in mid-movement and look at each other and kind of have that, oh fuck, we're missing the party.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna look at Claire and be like, do you still have that gun?
Are you asking this to have the gun or just to see if she'll take the gun out?
Just to verify she still has it. I don't even think I'm going to wait for a response. I'm just going to grab her by the collar and like yank her up, and we're headed for the backyard.
Absolutely, yeah. As you're heading to the backyard, as you're passing through the kitchen, she grabs the gun that was on the bar, and the two of you head out and like spill out of the house to see that mass. And to you might be able to see the Ancient One like getting further and further away with two beings dangling from it. What is Morgana doing at this point? Like, seeing this, have the hose having fallen down, what does Penelope come out to see?
Morgana is doing mental math of A, what the fuck? B, can I do anything about this? Probably not, let's be honest right now. And so I think she's looking around to see Naomi, and when they come out, she's pulling out her car keys to chase down Slayer.
I see that and like I scream. I'm like, vamps, demons, 20, 30, lots, no, and I start like pointing, like turn around, go, and like I keep running like toward them, like I run toward her like, no, don't do it.
And I think at that point too, as you're saying that, you begin to see all of these vampires spilling from around the house, like apparently having been activated or ordered, or however you want to put it. They are all sprinting towards you. As they do so, some of them stop when they see this thing that has crawled up out of the earth. Some of them stop, some of them turn around and go the other way. Some of them immediately break away from trying to attack you and try to attack this thing. And as soon as they do, you see a tentacle like grab onto their face and just hold on. And they seem to be like sucking the life out of them. You can see them like writhing a little bit before they eventually just completely fall slack and the tentacle lets them go. All of this is happening very, very quickly.
I look at Claire. Fucking keys. Where are your fucking keys? Let's go.
Okay, so with that knowledge, are all of you just wanting to run to Claire's car? That's the plan?
We can't fight this thing.
Okay, so I think seeing I almost said infected. Seeing the vampires running around both sides of the house, the four of you turn and sprint back into the house. There's just this quick sprinting. Claire is leading the way, diving over, grabbing the car keys from the counter. I was going to say bursting through the front door, but actually that's not right because there's not a front door anymore. There's a giant hole where there was a front door. So like pushing, spilling out of that, you are running towards the car. Most of these vampires have like moved around, but upon like seeing and hearing you coming out of the front door, they turn and instead begin running in that direction. All of you sprint over to the car, open respective doors, climb in, and as you are speeding away, we are going to cut over to Logan, Elijah, and the Ancient One. You are very, very high in the air at this point, and this Ancient One seems to be heading in a very specific direction. It seems to be taking you somewhere. And as you are heading this way, you're still like hitting it, trying to make it let go of you, and it's just not letting go. And you feel a hand like on your shoulder from the back as Elijah is basically like climbing up you for a moment and is like, hi. And he kind of grabs onto the actual leg of this Ancient One, looks at you with this face of like, don't make this a thing. And he just says, I need you to put your arms around me, please. Look, we don't have time. Please, just put your arms around me very quickly.
Okay, fine. And
Okay.
Logan reluctantly does the thing.
Good. And he looks up, and as soon as he feels like your arms lock, he immediately reaches one hand back, and you see claws, like talons that weren't really there before, have extended out, and he lurches forward, slices into the ankle of this thing, and right before the slice happens, I need you and Elijah both to make a willpower roll for me.
10.
So you see Elijah, bring the claws back, move to go forward. There's a moment of like, ugh, both of you felt it. You felt for the briefest second there was an urge to just relax. Just relax. You'll be there soon. You'll be okay. And you felt that for a moment, but both of you were able to overcome it, and Elijah slams the claws into like the ankle of this creature. And as soon as it does, this blood just begins spilling from it, and the talons drop you. And as you are holding on to Elijah, you feel as soon as you begin to fall, Elijah immediately like holds on to you and turns his body so that he is facing the ground. And you fall. And now we're going to cut back over to the other three, or the other four, technically, that are speeding down the street. God. These vampires are just sprinting after. You can feel, there's a moment where Morgana, you're like, thank God this isn't my car, because some of them dive forward and claws slam into the back of this car itself, and you drag them for a moment until Claire like turns really hard on one corner, flings them off in the other direction. You see them roll on the pavement. You see the cloaks fall off of them, and they're like burning in the sun, and some of them just dust right there. A lot of them are dusting, like just trying to get to you. And you see, it's kind of hard to keep track of how many corners we're turning. We didn't go in a circle or anything, but we're probably not making much ground on the ones that have been surrounding this entire city block as they are rushing in the direction of the sound. Claire is focused on driving. She's not going to be shooting out the window or anything.
Yeah, I have my bag of tricks, so I will pull out... I'll pull out a Desert Eagle. God, it's the 90s. I roll the fucking window down. And I will start shooting out the window.
Oh, you take one whole turn to roll it? No.
Yeah. Oh,
I'd like to use my turn to roll down the window, please.
Jammed. For the kids watching, that's why you call it roll it down. Because you had to roll it. Oh, I'm old. All right. Yeah, I pull out my fucking Desert Eagle and start shooting. And then I started blasting, you know?
You do that thing where you're like leaning out and firing at them? Perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what's everyone else doing? Well, nothing special though. Claire is
a 95 Corolla at best.
Yeah, but is it like a cool one that has a moonroof?
Yes, I rolled a d10 to see if it does, and it does.
Okay. So my intention is to dig in the bag of tricks, grab a crossbow, and come out the top of the moonroof.
Hell yeah! All right, beautiful. What is Penelope doing?
Penelope would like to try to keep an eye on the Ancient One and try to navigate Claire as best she can, like sharp left, next right, to try to keep us following wherever the Ancient One is going, because I don't have any weapons. I cannot help.
Okay, I like that. All right, so you're keeping it's so hard. Sometimes you lose it behind like certain buildings, or when you're turning super sharply and you have to hang on. Sometimes you're losing it, but you can pretty much find it every time you look back. So you're keeping a good eye on that and like just shouting directions, left, right.
No, your other left.
So as you are shouting these directions, Naomi pops up top and is like steadying their arm on the back of the car. It's hard to steady because it's swerving everywhere at this point, but you're like kind of steadying with the swerves, and you're able to just fire. Where do you think you keep the others? Are they just like shoved into like your pocket at that point, so it's easier to grab onto? Perfect. Yeah. So firing, you see it slam into one, and the actual impact itself doesn't dust it, but you see it slams into it enough that it trips and falls, and the robe falls, like slips off of it, and the sun itself dusts it. And you see from that dust two more like shoot through it to chase after. And as soon as one does, what were those Desert Eagle rolls? Woo, that was hard to say.
8, 9, and 12.
All right, so one of those just completely misses. It just fires off into nothing, just echoes. But the other one, those two that come out of the dust, the Desert Eagle shot slams into both of them. One more in the chest, one in the head, and you see as soon as that happens, they're like tripping up and falling and both dusting as well, and then 4 more coming from behind that dust. And another crossbow bolt slams into that one. directly in the heart and just dusts it immediately. And then you have one more. What does that last crossbow shot look like?
I think the last one is like she kind of takes a moment to like breathe, and as she's like exhaling, she tries to see if she can like get two at once, if possible.
Nice. Yeah. Exhaling, you peek over your shoulder and you hear Penelope yell, "Right!" And you kind of gauge how close the next swerve is gonna be, and you wait. And you use that swerve, that moment, to put two bodies together right at the right time, and you fire. And that bolt goes through one of them. It dusts them, and as that one's dusting, you see it slam into the chest of the other one. It doesn't go through that one, but it slams into the chest, and that one dusts as well. And there's this moment of like, did you see that?
That's exactly what I'm screaming into the car. Like, I've got my face like, get fucking what two at once. That was the more fucking incredible, kid. I'm so goddamn proud.
There's just the shouting as Penelope's just shouting left, right. It's just a car of screaming people as
it's fine.
As the car is just spiraling down the street, all of these vampires just chasing after. There's a moment, Penelope, where as Claire is like looking back, like, just everybody calm down. There's a moment where you look forward, Penelope, and you see like 5 different vampires rushing in front of the car.
Penelope yells, "Clutch." And then she like reaches over and grabs the e-brake and slams it up. And Claire, who is like a quick thinker, slams down on the clutch, and the rear end of the car just spins all the way around.
There's a moment where the car like bounces for a moment, and you're like, fuck, we're gonna tip over, because that is what was going to happen. There's this moment of like, oh no. And then the tires like catch and squeal and slam into these 4 vampires. You hear 4 different smacks at 4 different points in time as their bodies are just smacking onto the side of this vehicle. As soon as they smack, immediately pushing forward. I'm gonna say it probably, with the way that it turned, it's probably driving in between 2 houses right now. Like, it is just pushing through and now is trying to shortcut between 2 different houses, slams into a fence, like a white picket fence, and one at a time, like the boards are just flying up as the car is slamming into it, just and then peels onto the other street. That could have been really bad. And now we are cutting back to Logan and Elijah, who are plummeting from the sky. And you are falling quickly. All you hear is the wind rushing past your ears. And Logan is going to take 23 damage as the 2 of you slam into the ground. You actually feel the first impact is on some sort of building. You hear multiple bones in Elijah's body snap as they're slammed into the building, and both of you go tumbling off and rolling into various directions. You see white for a moment. It's just white, hot pain as your breath is knocked out of you, and then finally you're able to breathe in. It's kind of hurts. There's a sharp pain. You do not see any sign that the Ancient One is like circling back for you. It seems to be flying away still.
Okay, so I think I would Logan's just kind of like brushing themselves off painfully, hobbling around trying to find maybe something somewhere to hide, like under a car or something. And looks over at Elijah to see how they're doing.
Yeah, as you're glancing around, thematically enough, you have landed in a cemetery. And what you landed on was like a mausoleum. So the corner of that mausoleum is like busted off, but the mausoleum still stands. And Elijah had tumbled off and slammed into like 2 more headstones and is just laying there at the moment. You see various amounts of blood all over.
Okay. Logan looks over at Elijah, sighs. can't believe I'm doing this. Okay. And then goes over and like tries to pick him up as much as she can, and then or drag him into the mausoleum, whichever works out. I don't know, depending on the dice gods, but some sort of moving Elijah with them into this mausoleum to possibly hide, if it's even open.
I would say you hear the shrieking in the skies, and you have a fear that this thing is going to circle back and see if it can find you. So go ahead and make whatever roll you would like to try to hide yourself.
I got 17. Oh, that's my best roll of the day.
Yeah. So I think there's this moment of like, you don't even wait to see if he can stand up or anything like that. You fling an arm over and just drag his ass to this mausoleum, kick it open. It was locked, but you're not fucking around, and you just kick this door open, push him through, go in, and as you're shutting the door, you do see the shadow of the Ancient One as it is circled back to try to see where you are, and you close the door, and it does not seem to have seen you. As that door closes, we cut back to the car. Penelope, you have noticed that the Ancient One is circling back and coming back in this direction. And Claire is like, they're not there. And you don't see Logan or Elijah hanging from the claws anymore. So what would you like to do?
So I think I would just kind of like look around at our surroundings to see what's nearby and see how many vamps we still have chasing us. And just kind of, from there, like a secondary problem. First problem is car, not here, other place. Gas, and like throw the handbrake back down. And go.
Let's go.
Anything but here is fine. Thank you.
Okay. What about everyone else?
Morgana yanks Naomi down. Fucking good job, kid. Oh my god. All right. You fucking crushed it. Do you care, Claire, if your car needs whatever? And she just the window's open. I don't give a shit. Jesus Christ. All right. What's between here and where it's flying?
You hear Claire yell, "Car wash!" and is immediately like just speeding. Car wash, just says car wash like multiple times. Car wash, and you're not really gaining too much, but it seems that the longer these vampires are running in the sun, the harder it is for them to keep up. You see some of them just dusting on their own. And so you are kind of gaining some ground, and she immediately turns another corner and pulls up, slows down, pulls up to one of those like drive-through car washes, drives up, and you see people immediately like stopping and looking at this vehicle. The whole back end is just scratched with various claw marks. One of the tires is probably pretty flat at this point, and it's just rolling casually. Claire just salutes at someone and stops. And there's this just really like, I feel like there's probably like elevator music in a sense as you're stopped, and Claire is putting quarters into the thing, pushing through, and as soon as the car gets into the car wash enough to be hidden, the rest of the vampires are sprinting through the street, and they're like looking around. You see people beginning to scream now, running, like freaking out. Many of them are just dusting, and people are like not believing what they have seen. And then we just cut to the four of you just sitting in the car, and Claire just like puts her head against the seat of the car for a moment and just turns to look at all of you. Did anyone see how far they were when they fell, when they were let go? Will you roll your window up, please?
I throw it out. No, I threw it out the window and rolled it up. I was we were fucking busy with the back
No,
ends.
I know. I just
Penelope, you got anything? Did you see him?
Can I guess based on the last time I saw them and where I see the Ancient One heading to? Can I kind of like triangulate a kind of area where they're most likely?
Yeah, I think you would have like a couple block radius that you think it'd be a good place to start.
Yeah, I mean, judging from when I saw them and where he's headed, that block over there, a couple blocks down, that's most likely where they are. But I'm not entirely sure. I was doing other things in that particular moment. I apologize. I got distracted.
Oh, that was
And
fucking cool.
We will hard cut to the three of you and Claire walking through the busted open doorway into the house that has just, drywall debris everywhere. The entertainment center has been busted to smithereens. The back door is still hanging wide open. You walk in this odd quiet, and Claire is just looking around at the mess. And Claire just says, I don't understand why we came back here. I need to go find Logan.
Nope, no you don't. And I told you I'd explain when we get here, and we're here, so I can explain now. I remembered my dream.
That's great.
I'm
That's
gonna
great.
need a little more detail.
Yeah.
On the why.
Yeah. So in my dream, Claire, me and you were able to seal away the writhing tentacle nightmare that's in the backyard with the use of a mirror. Me and you doing magic folks doing the magics.
I don't have magic.
No, I think you do. I mean, in the dream, like you were there, you were doing it with me, it was working. So yeah, I mean, you probably do. I mean, because like they're obviously not with the Ancient One right this moment, and we have a giant monster in the middle of suburbia. We probably need to deal with that as well. So I'm just thinking, we could figure that out. And then on the way over here, I was thinking about what we can do to help the Slayer, because I knew this would be a point for you, right? So have you guys ever heard of Hedy Lamarr?
The movie star?
Yeah, I don't know. They talked about her in history class. I wasn't paying too much attention, but I do know that she would set traps and do all these decoding things with electricity and radio waves. And I was thinking, right? So the guys out front who were chasing us and smacking into the car, they communicate with the Ancient One, right? So if they thought that Logan was in a space, like a place, they would tell him that Logan is in that place, right?
Uh-huh.
But what if Logan wasn't in that place?
I'm not sure I'm following.
So it's like a game of telephone where I tell Naomi oh, okay, well, we're going to go to your house to spend the night. And then she tells her mom, oh, we're going to my house to spend the night, but neither one of us are there, right? So if we somehow can convince these guys that Logan has gone very far away, Ancient One would go very far away to get Logan.
I'm really good at improv. I can walk through the streets and be like, oh, where did Logan go? Damn it. Fucking, they fucking slippery Slayer. They went down to fucking New Mexico.
Perfect. Spot on. 10 out of 10.
I'm ready.
But you get what I'm
I can do
saying.
it.
We can plant information into his little minions.
And how do you expect to have these conversations with the little minions to convince them that the Slayers fucked off to New Mexico?
I don't know.
Well, it got that hive mind situation.
Well, yeah.
They're waiting for somebody to give them instructions. I saw a guy earlier, like normally they would just like come at me, like, like they see us and they're like, fucking Slayer, demon hunter. Like it wasn't like that. It was more like he was holding on to me and he like talked to me a little bit. I don't know. Like it was really weird. But I'm saying, like, it wasn't like he just like immediately attacked me. He was like waiting for something, like for orders, I guess, from the big one. So if the big one's tricked, maybe all of them are tricked.
It's true. We could like take care of the monster in the backyard here that's coming out of the septic tank, and then we could try to leave, and they would try to follow us because we'd be like, we have to go help Logan, and then they would follow us across town, or at least think they're following us across town. We could probably get away from them because like you guys are great at driving, and they would still be going to the gymnasium or the library or wherever to go get Logan. But it would at least buy her some time.
Yeah, no, that's fair. All right. Well, how do you guys deal with the thing out back? Your car ain't going nowhere, Claire. It's kind of fucked. Mine is fucked, but not fucked as bad. So I can play bait if you want. Once you take care of that thing.
Claire is like processing all of the information that was just given. I hear what you're saying. I don't have magic. I don't know spells, for one. And for two, I am not going to be able to focus on that thing until I know that Logan is safe. So we deal with that first. And then I will hold whatever mirror you want me to hold. But Logan is my priority. So
Okay,
where do
I
we
guess
start
that's
with
fair.
that?
I still think the best bet is to try to get at least the bulk of the vampires away from here. And then go try to hunt her down where we saw her, or we think we saw her drop.
I can lose them pretty easy, probably. Listen, you have Naomi. They'll take care of you. I trained them good, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, totes.
I'm very tough and good in a sticky situation.
Besides, ain't nobody else driving my car, so like you got an option. Claire, is that amenable to you?
If I can come with you, then yeah.
But I'm not actually going to the all right, whatever. Let's get the other two of you, what, they're gonna go searching for him?
Well, I mean, if 2 of 3 people who can fight go, that leaves Naomi in the position of helping me, who cannot do much. Kind of saddling
But I feel
Naomi
like
with the dead weight.
they don't really care about you guys, though. You know, they care about the Slayer.
Yeah, they blew through all of us to get to the Slayer.
Right. So they're not going to stick around just to pick off a couple of people they don't care about. And then maybe, I mean, you guys could meet us at like the convenience store a few blocks away that we passed. And then I'll pick you up there and we keep on going to wherever the fuck the Slayer actually is.
That could work.
Sound good to you?
Sounds good.
I hope you aced acting classes. Let's get out of here. You guys meet us at that the convenience store, yeah? We'll pick you up. And I'll
All right, so Claire and Morgana head out into the yard. There are quite a few stragglers that seem to just be like hiding in various shadows, like in on porches, or you imagine that they are beginning to realize how much being outside is hurting a lot of them, and a lot of them are kind of cowering away. A lot of them were probably ones that ran from the backyard tentacle monster. So you do see quite a few of them around. The average eye probably wouldn't see them, but you are able to.
You know how when little kids are playing hide and seek and you can see their feet sticking out or their whatever? And you just pretend they're not there and you talk
Yeah.
real loud. We're doing that. And I say real loud, as Claire's opening the garage, look, you're not going fucking anywhere without me. If Slayer's going back to the warehouse, then we're going back to the warehouse. I'm not letting you go by yourself.
You think Logan's really gonna just sit at the warehouse? She's probably in one of those trucks heading down the highway by now.
Well, yeah, but doesn't mean you have to go by yourself and get yourself killed. I mean, I can give you backup. You're not driving my fucking car.
Fine. But if she's not in the warehouse, that means she's really far away.
Fucking Slayers. All right, let's get in the goddamn car. Let's get going.
Fine. And yeah, you head over to the garage, and then your vehicle pulls out, and you're kind of probably going somewhat slow at first, right? To see if they're following. Yeah, and you do see almost as if like a new mission has arrived. You see them getting up and beginning to follow this vehicle. Not like chasing it like the other one, but trying to be a little more covert about it. And Naomi and Penelope, you watch this from the hole that was the front door. You see the car drive off.
So, convenience store. You ready?
Yeah. Are we just gonna like leave that thing in the back?
Well, as far as I can tell, I need Claire to do it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
It's just gross. I don't want to look at it.
I'm gonna kind of like peek out the window. What's it doing?
Just hard
I
cut
like-
to blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. I like
Why-
pull my head back in.
Why
It's
not
bugging.
Zoidberg?
It's bugging. I don't know. It's fucking wigging me out. I don't like it. I've already puked once today. Can we like go get some Funyuns or something?
If you think that'll help, sure. Yeah, I can definitely
Yeah.
get some Funyuns.
Settle my stomach. And like a Slurpee.
Well, at least it'll make for colorful while. Yeah, let's go.
What?
And the two of you begin heading out towards the convenience store. And then we cut over to a completely dark place. Eventually your eyes are adjusting, but Logan, you've been sitting there for a while, and while you heard the shriek overhead, you don't think that the creature knows where you are. And it does fall silent, and it's silent for probably a few minutes before you hear Elijah say, "That sucked. Are you okay?"
Yeah, I mean, as okay as I can be from falling from wherever the hell we fell from, however many high. Does that mean I can call myself a paratrooper now?
You hear him laugh and then immediately regret it. Sure.
Sorry. What do I don't know how to. I'm not usually fixing people like you. This is new.
You can't help me.
Wow, ominous today. Okay. I just did. So you're welcome.
Yes, thank you for that. I meant my wounds. You can't help my wounds. I need blood.
Oh. And like Logan gets very like, okay. At the thought of it, and it catches them off guard. They're kind of just like, I didn't. Oh, all right. That tingled something, and Logan kind of like awkwardly looks at Elijah and like looks away and is like, so like, do you need it like right now? Is there? Do you? I don't really know how this works.
Oh, look,
but
I will be okay. I think Claire will murder me if that happens, so I'll be okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good point. You know what? That makes sense. And like, Logan is just like, hey, composure. All right. So yeah, you're moving on. What should we should probably stay here, get out of here. You need help. that I can't provide. That's established. I think the thing went away. What was that? The thing? That was the thing, wasn't it?
That was the thing.
Okay.
Do you have a way of contacting your friends? And he's like clearly trying to hide how much physical pain he's actually in right now.
Well, cemetery, so maybe a payphone on the outside? Somewhere? How about this? You stay here, don't die, or, die again. Die squared? Anyway, and I will be right back. And Logan will proceed to potentially maybe sneakily go find a payphone.
Okay.
Is there a payphone?
Yeah, you head out and it's just this bizarre, you're used to having situations like this happen at night. It's just so bizarre that it's happening in broad daylight right now. And you kind of walk out and you look around, there's a payphone not too far, kind of across the street. And you can head over there. I will say, Naomi and Penelope, you are making your way out of the house. You hear the phone ring inside.
Oh, that's probably bad? Good?
Well, I mean, it's unlikely to be a telemarketer. It's not dinner time.
I'm gonna get it. And I try to run as fast as I can to try and grab it, realizing that Claire does not seem friendly enough to have people randomly call her house.
Fair.
Hello?
And on the other line, you just hear, you have a collect call from Logan and Elijah are at the cemetery. Would you like to answer?
Yes. Boop, boop, boop. Hello?
You answered it?
Oh, I'll see you soon. Bye.
Claire is gonna kill me. We're at the cemetery. I have Elijah. We're in a mausoleum. Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye. Okay. Wait. What does it look like?
A gray. I don't know. It's daytime. It's.
Does it have a thing on it? Is there an angel or a fucking face or a house, a name? No, nothing.
I'll meet you outside of it. How about that? I'll meet you here.
Yeah, okay, bye.
Okay, bye. And then Logan's very upset now because Claire's gonna blame them for the collect call charge.
I'm just gonna look at Naomi and be like, nice.
I told you, I'm cool under pressure.
Good job.
So, okay. All right, so they're, I don't even want to say it out loud. You're a witch. Do you have telepathic powers?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna write it down and then I'm gonna eat it. So I write down what was just said, on a piece of scrap paper, show it to Penelope, and then start ripping it up into tiny pieces, and I'm munching it on our way.
I was really hoping you weren't going to remember to show it to me and you were going to eat it first.
Very close.
Very close.
But I'm being cool under pressure. So I remembered to show it to you before I ate it.
And then I'll just watch you eat it and just be like,
this tastes great. This is terrible, but fucking safety first, right?
No, 100%. That's the only thing that Morgana would tell you to do. I'm sure of it. You have it completely right.
Well, Morgana would have a really cool cigarette, and she'd be like, you shouldn't eat paper because it's really not the best thing to do when you're out there trying to do stuff. And she would go, and she'd burn it, and it would all go away. But I when I have cigarettes, I gotta take my asthma inhaler.
Cigarettes aren't good for you, so yeah, it's not cool. So I guess we still have to go to the convenience store because that's where they're going to meet us, and then we can go to the paper place.
Get more paper?
No more paper. Just the place on the paper.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh. Place on the paper.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm ready.
Funyuns.
Fucking Funyuns. Oh yeah.
Somewhere across town as she's driving, Morgana's just some fucking bullshit happening somewhere, and I don't like it.
We will cut to Morgana and Claire sitting in the car, probably parked at the convenience store. Yeah?
Yeah, after we've driven
waiting
around a bunch.
Is there any conversation, or has it been pretty quiet?
I feel like there's some attempts at like a little bit of awkward conversation of like, so you seem pretty young for a watcher. How long you been doing this shit?
Not long as Logan's been the Slayer, I guess.
How do you even get started as a watcher? Did they like recruit? Like, how does this shit work?
Well, for me, it was in the family. My dad was a watcher.
Really? I guess I didn't really think of watchers having like kids and stuff.
This better work.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Slayers are tough.
And I think around this time, you see Naomi and Penelope off in the distance making their way this direction.
Oh, thank God. I like wave out the window.
No, you got to mix all the flavors. It's the only way to do slushies. Like, there's no contest. You can't even tell me that the wild cherry is the better flavor. It's not.
I mean, it's definitely not the cola.
Well, everybody agrees on that. That's just all the flavors mixed together. Oh, look, there they are. Hi.
Hey, you would be really proud of me. I kept a secret today.
Super top secret.
Yeah.
Good job, kid.
Thanks.
What's the secret? Do I need to know?
Shit. I probably shouldn't have destroyed that paper before I showed everybody else.
No, you did the right thing. The movement from here to there isn't safe. You did the right thing.
All right. Well, I don't want to write it down again. Can I just to the bathroom? Do you have to use the bathroom? Because
oh my God.
I need to tell you something, but I don't know vampire stuff like sonic hearing. I know they can hear a twig snap like a lion on a grassland. So I don't want to tempt fate. So
kid, I like the impulse, but and I'll reach into the glove box where there's a pad of paper and a pencil. Just write it down, would you?
All right, but I'm not eating this one.
Not it.
Wait, why did... God. All right. I take it, look at it. Okay, and then reach out the window, pop open my lighter, and just set it on fucking fire.
I elbow Penelope in the rib cage second you put your window down.
I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, fucking nailed it.
I look at Claire. Did I say something weird? What is this?
I don't know.
Whatever.
We have a location we can go.
Yeah, we can go. I'll get out the car. Oh, no, that's a lie. She doesn't get out of the car. She doesn't get out of the fucking car. She pops the seat forward and lets you climb in behind her. Let's just get out of here.
She doesn't get out of the car.
You can climb. You're young.
Climb on in, kids. Perfect. And then you are heading that direction, I assume.
I do a couple of laps just to make sure, but yeah.
Perfect. Doing some laps. You don't see any sign of any of them following you or tailing you or tracking you even. And eventually you hear the vehicle pulling up and you see the familiar vehicle and all of you see each other again for the first time since the attack. Yeah, Claire is out of the car immediately and can immediately see all of the smashed headstones and the smashed mausoleum front and immediately looks from that to you and realizes the wounds don't quite match up and is looking around and becoming aware that she doesn't see Elijah, but it's just kind of coming up to you and checking for wounds basically.
I'm fine. I just now have added paratrooper to my resume.
Funny.
Parachute didn't work though. No.
Well, it doesn't look like you broke anything, so it worked a little bit.
Yeah, so Elijah's in the mausoleum. He's broken. He needs blood. Which I was not even thinking about giving him, Claire, and you'd be proud. Yeah.
Okay.
Thought never crossed my mind.
Not even once.
Nope, not once, not at all. And he's this way. You can go get him. I'm gonna go.
Ooh,
Eh,
Claire, you probably shouldn't. You have
I got
gaping
it.
Oh, yeah.
head
And just
wound.
kind of like, right.
Holy shit! What happened?
I don't really know. I don't remember that well.
claw. Right to the face.
Wow, it just keeps going.
Yeah, if you got any of that in my car, I'm gonna get very annoyed. I'm gonna go in there and it's fine. It's fine. And I go in.
And like Logan immediately becomes like, I would say like you could see like the rules reverse maybe a little bit, where Logan just starts like picking apart everything of Claire, and it starts like, you know, like grabbing, trying to like put pressure on it, and it's like completely 180 into somebody that actually gives a shit.
You head
Oh,
in
yeah.
to see, you see Elijah, usually in like a, more dignified stance. Elijah is like knees to chest, holding on to knees, sitting on the floor of this mausoleum.
I close the door behind me. And you saved my life last night. Would you let me return the favor?
You see, we'll say, like the door is closed, but like a little crack of light is coming through, just enough for you to be able to see. And you see him like glance up with just his eyes, and they are just crimson red. And then he kind of looks away, almost like ashamed to let anybody see that.
Everyone's fine. You're the only one that's banged up. Well, you and my car, but we can't fix that. If it makes it easier, I can go get a water bottle or something, or I don't know, chalice. I'm sure there's something. We're in a fucking cemetery, but we need you fighting shape.
I appreciate that, but the amount that I would need would... You wouldn't be in shape to do anything after. You'd be alive, but look, if all of you are okay, you just need to go do what you need to do, and I'll be okay here for a little while.
All right. Well, afterwards, I need to take a vacation at some point anyway, if you want. The offer is on the table after we stop whatever the fuck this is.
He just nods and is still like avoiding bringing his eyes back up. Maybe I'll see you later. And if not, that's okay. Tell Claire, like, that we did our best.
You did great. And good job keeping Logan in one piece. You look pretty fucked.
Yeah.
And I suspect she'd appreciate it. All right, well, I'm gonna go, but like I said, I'll come back here, and if you're not here, just come find me, all right?
He nods, and as you turn and kind of pull the door open to leave, you just hear him say, "Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it does get better."
Heads out, closes the door. He's gonna stick around here for a while, but we gotta move. We gotta move. I don't know where the fuck we're gonna move, but we gotta move somewhere. So let's get back to the car.
We're just gonna leave him in there?
Yeah. He's all right. He'll be all right. We just can't. He can't be coming with us right now. His needs are beyond what we can do at the moment, unless you know a blood bank or some shit.
Claire's like, he's done his part. We need to do ours. Claire just looks at Penelope like, okay, what do we do?
Magic.
Okay, let's get home. And just kind of like glances over to the mausoleum again. I feel weird about leaving him for some reason. Why do I feel weird about this? Let's go.
Because he's a good man, Claire. It doesn't matter what someone is if they're a good person.
For the record, I also feel weird about it. I just want that to be noted. Okay, we can go down.
Everyone kind of like loads into the car.
I give
Heads back.
Claire something for the no dripping on the upholstery.
Thanks. And you head back for the first time at a normal speed. And there's a moment where you're like, wow, it's been a long day. And you realize it's been like 2 hours since you woke up and you're like, fuck. The longest 2 hours ever. And the car pulls up to Claire's house where it's still just incredibly ridiculous how there was a door and now there is a hole. Heading inside, Claire is able to find a mirror that Penelope says will work. And upon the four of you and Claire looking out the backyard, you see this tentacle creature still out there. And it looks like it can't move. Like it looks like part of it is still underground. Still kind of inside of that crack. And without anything here, you just see it like almost dormant, like it's just kind of like pulsating, having not noticed you yet.
I'm gonna try to think back on my dream and try to see if I recognize the enchantment or spell that we were doing, if it's in my book or if it's something that sounds like it's an amalgamation of different things. So I kind of give us a direction.
Yeah,
to go with.
you were probably like flipping through that book on the drive back and you don't see anything that is jogging a memory for this. Nothing. And so then you instead start to focus on your memory of the dream itself. And you're pretty sure you can make out a phrase. There was a phrase that the two of you were chanting. You're not sure what language it was in, but you're pretty sure you could replicate it. Basically it was you and Claire sitting opposite each other with the mirror facing up. That's all you really have to go on.
Okay. So when we get back to the house, I'm gonna get everybody to help me kind of clear up the living room and like get the coffee table set up. We're gonna put the mirror down on the coffee table. And I'm gonna... All right, Claire. I know what we have to say. I don't actually know what it means.
Good.
But I mean, yeah, it's fine. So we're gonna say that a lot, and you're just gonna really need to focus, like real hard, like latch on to something really important to you, like keeping Logan safe, keeping the world safe, whatever it is, and hold that feeling and make it real strong. And just kind of force it out of you into the magic. It's doable. It's fine. It's going to be great. You're going to do a great job.
Okay. I don't know how many times I can say that I don't know magic, but I will give this a shot.
So,
Okay.
I will probably spend a bit of time casting one of my shield of protection spells beforehand so that like me and her are in the bubble.
Perfect.
It takes about 10 minutes, but it creates like a bubble around us. It requires like salt and some herbs, and I like to think she has like the stretchy bead bracelets, but she's actually like made like little pocket-sized spells in these little beads. And she just like breaks the bracelet and like tosses one out, and that's her spell focus, and it's pretty cool. And I teach her phrase, and are you ready?
No, and yes, let's do this. And Claire just kind of looks to the rest of you and is like, please stand back just in case I fuck something up.
Should be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. And she just sits and looks across the table at you. And I think there's just this moment of like this mental countdown as you're nodding. And then you both begin saying this phrase that sounds just absolutely preposterous. Like, how could someone have made this phrase up? This is not a language. None of you have ever heard of this, even with all of your like occult knowledge. You don't know what this is. And the two of them are saying it over and over and over until they can finally say it in sync. There's a moment where both of them are chanting. They're kind of getting louder and louder and louder. Not necessarily that their voices are getting louder, but that you can tell they feel like something is happening, and their voices become more determined. Therefore, they just seem louder because they're saying these words with conviction. And where are you standing? They are in the living room here. Where are the rest of you?
I would have put myself in a doorway, or I guess what is a hole in the wall now, but put Naomi and Logan behind me, even though I know Logan doesn't have to be behind me, but
I
I'm
would
like-
voluntarily go behind you.
I'm craning my neck like around Morgana, trying to see. And
Yeah, I feel like it's one of
probably
those,
failing.
I feel like Morgana's like taking up the doorway, but then there's just two heads on either side, like looking to see what's going on. And Penelope and Claire saying this over and over and over. Penelope, you're feeling that like your side of it is working. Like you know that you are doing this correctly. And there's just this moment of you're realizing like Claire doesn't think she could do this, so it's not going to work for her. And you just make this eye contact with Claire, just trying to convince her that she can do this. And you see Claire's eyes go from yours, move over to where Logan is standing, and then look back to you. And the next time the phrase goes, you feel that energy like strengthen on her side. And there's kind of just this force to where the two of you like both at the same time just reach out and like grab each other's hands from across the way. You kind of feel that like it's almost like the mirror itself is trying to push the two of you apart. And so you kind of like hold on to each other's wrists and you're keeping each other in place. And you feel everything in the room, all of the debris from everything else beginning to like rise up. The rest of you can see all of this debris floating and beginning to spin around the room. It kind of goes up towards the ceiling and it's spinning and it's spinning. And as they continue chanting, you see bit by bit pieces begin to fly down, and where they slam into the mirror and you think they're going to shatter, they go through. They're sucked in through the mirror, 1, 2, 3, and then this whirlwind is getting harder and harder and harder, and more things are flying in. You see the glass, you see the wood, and then you hear the gurgling shrieks of this creature outside. And you can see, as both of you glance over towards the doorway to the back door, and you see it is shoved up against the back door, trying to hold on from its tentacles. In the doorway, but it's just being pulled through, almost like it's like it's turning to more of a gelatin or a liquid to squeeze through, like octopus, like through a place where it should not fit. And you see it just pushing through, trying to hold on to everything. Everywhere the tentacles touch, it leaves like a slug trail all down everything. It's just messing this whole kitchen up, the door frame, everything. But it is being dragged through the more that you chant. And upon seeing it, there's this moment of fear that takes over you. Just like when you like had seen it the first time, but you're fighting it, you're chanting. That fear, you immediately break eye contact from it and look back directly at each other, chanting over and over and over. And it's getting closer and closer and closer. And the whole house is just rumbling and taken up by the sound of this squelching and shrieking as this creature is just being pulled through the kitchen into the living room. You see one tentacle fly up and slam into the mirror and just be pulled through. And upon that suction, it's almost like something is inside, just pulling it in even harder. And the two of you are standing here by a mirror that is as big as a fucking medicine cabinet door. And you're looking at that creature, and there's no way this is gonna work, but you're just now yelling, you're shouting over the sounds of this squelching, you're shouting this phrase over and over and over, and you see eventually your eyesight is broken as you just see this whole mass writhing up in like on top of this mirror, hitting the ceiling. You can see the tentacles flying around everywhere, slamming into the ceiling, slamming into the debris, and then eventually it's like swirling, and then it is all pulled down and flush into this mirror. And then you see the mirror's solid surface as a couple pieces of glass and wood from the entertainment center plink against it. And the mirror is a mirror. And the room falls completely silent.
Huh.
I think Penelope and Claire are probably like breathing pretty heavily, trying to catch their breath, looking down at this mirror right now. Claire's eyes are saucers right now, just staring down at this mirror like, what the fuck did I just do? But she hasn't said anything yet.
I think I'm gonna kind of stare at the mirror for a minute. And then I'm gonna look up at Claire and be like, fuck yeah.
Claire like, and holds up a hand to high five and then immediately passes out.
And I'm like
Oh,
left there,
shit.
like mid high five, like, good talk.
If you keep your hand up, I push past Morgana and I go for it. And like I smack your hand really hard. That was fucking amazing.
Ow!
Wow. You didn't tell me you were a professional.
You didn't tell me you hit that hard.
Well, yeah, I'm training.
Oh,
I go over to Claire and pick her up onto the couch or something.
Yeah, she is unconscious, but you can absolutely like put her onto the couch.
yeah, I would say Logan would kind of just rush over to Claire too and help kind of take care of her.
I'll clean Claire up, butterfly strips, all that stuff, and then just go about, I guess, securing the location as much as we can.
I think I'm probably trying to tidy up.
Yeah, the kitchen looks like it has just been slimed. Like the entire kitchen. So it's like a layer of like scraping the slime and putting it away.
Yeah. Every couple of minutes you hear, you're being a professional.
I think I'm a little obsessed with the mirror. So I've like taken the mirror, I put it into a pillowcase, into a sheet, duct taped it. Like I don't know what to do with it because I'm not entirely sure what I've done to the mirror. But I do know that it's probably not a good idea to like, in my head, you know, like if you break it, you set it free type thing. And I'm not sure, but I'm like taking notes in my book in the back, like on a blank sheet of paper, like just trying to be responsible witch here because I'm not entirely sure what I have done.
At some point, Naomi and Morgana make eye contact, and Morgana's like,
Logan, you can tell me more about your job if you want. You look really good covered in slime, which I guess is an occupational hazard / professional courtesy.
Yeah, it's a kink for some people.
And they just like duck their head and start like cleaning even harder, like
You know, cleaning up slime and then like maybe like tossing a little bit at Naomi for funsies because the reaction she does is so cute. And like
Fade to black just for time passing. I think we fade back in probably almost evening. You've probably those of you that could stomach it got some food. The house is cleaned up, and Claire is beginning to like stir awake at this point. Like, I had this dream about this mirror. And then it's like looking around at everyone's faces.
Deja vu.
I'll just go and like remove her hand from her head. Don't fuck with the stitches. Like, I'm okay at it, but I'm not. Yeah, it's careful. Please just don't. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thought you said you weren't magical.
And then like remembers everything that has just happened. I didn't think that I was.
Claire's magical. Don't let her fool you. She makes the best cookies. That's magic.
Super
right there.
magical.
Oh, yeah.
Has anyone checked on Elijah?
Nope.
Fortifying. He needed a bit of a long time anyway. It's getting dark though, so I can go check on him if you want, or he'll maybe make his way here. And it seemed like he wanted to not be near people, for reasons, obviously. Yeah.
I don't know if he's in that bad a shape. It kind of makes me nervous having you go alone.
And I'm sure it's fine.
I'll go.
Yeah, take the Slayer. She's late for patrol anyway.
As usual.
I pull Morgana aside, like right as you're walking out the door, and like watches like Logan passes you to go outside. Listen, you're gonna be out with the Slayer. You're amazing. You're gonna fucking kick some ass. It's gonna be so great. But like also, could you like not talk about me? Because like that'll be really embarrassing if you talk to Logan about me. So just like don't say anything. Just like focus on the job. And like I know it's probably like really bad that I'm kind of like speaking out of turn right now, but also like they're really cute, and I just don't want any trouble. So they seem to think I'm cute as well. I don't understand why, but don't talk about me, okay?
Don't
Me
underestimate
talking to you right now
yourself.
is not helping. Go. And I just start like pushing you out the door.
All right, I'm going.
Please keep her safe. Logan, precious cargo. Okay.
That's not helping. And I'll get in the car.
Logan has been just twiddling their steak the entire time that this conversation has been going on, just waiting, oblivious.
Claire just kind of looks to Naomi and is like, look. She gets into trouble, but they can take care of themselves. So don't worry too much. Worrying is my job. Like, literally.
And you're very good at it.
Thank you. Eventually we cut to the vehicle, or is there any conversation on the drive, I guess? Like, you're almost to the cemetery.
Yeah, are you guys like chosen? Is that how it works? Are you just like volunteers? I mean, not like I get paid, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, for you it's fate. For me it's dumb luck. I stumbled across some shit when I was a little younger than you. And it turns out I'm good at fighting those things. And then found Naomi in an alleyway one time, kind of surrounded, and that's the start of a beautiful friendship, I guess.
yeah. Speaking of, are you guys like friends? Is it friends? Is it mentors? Like, what's the
You've
scoop?
seen those Star Wars movies? She's like my Padawan, She's like my
okay.
yeah, I'm teaching her the ropes. It's a whole thing. It's good. They do a great job, truly. Yeah.
So like they're single?
Yeah, they are. Why, are you interested?
Hard smash cut to the house, and Naomi's just like
Tingles.
Something's going on. I can feel it. I don't like it.
No reason, no reason. They just seem kind of, jumpy.
Jumpy. No, that's just the way they are. Listen, it's not my place to say, and they would murder me if I said anything, so just don't. But life's short, especially for people like us with our particular proclivities. If you think they're nice, maybe, tell them that you think they're nice. I won't be offended or anything. I'm sure they'd be delighted. Again, not that it's not my place. Anyway.
I don't know. I feel like they're kind of scared of me. I don't know. They get really jumpy whenever I'm around, and I don't know. I threw slime at them earlier, and they did not seem to think it was cute. So I'm struggling here. I don't know. I don't want to offend. I mean,
I feel like at this moment,
cute,
yeah, I park, because it's a manual. I pop the thing into neutral. I say, listen, Slayer, anybody's gonna be scared of you. You're impressive. You're destined for greatness. All that other bullshit. But also, you're pretty cool. And Naomi, they ride around with me all the time. Like, they don't really get to hang out with people their own age. That they're with me, and of course they're fucking nervous when you're around. So be cool, man. Just be cool about it and have a conversation, and we'll see what happens. Hey, we could all die tomorrow, We could all die tomorrow, and this fucking thing flies out of the goddamn sky. So why not just, have fun with it?
Yeah, all right.
Life's
yeah,
short.
and they fight things. It's not like I have to keep secrets.
Exactly. It's basically a match made in heaven.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Yeah, all right.
Get out of the car.
We're at the mausoleum, right, to go check on Elijah. So, if it's okay, Logan's gonna go to the payphone and call the house.
I'll wait by the car.
So I don't know who it's to answer, but
I mean, I am the phone answering person apparently.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
True.
I think Claire goes to stand up and goes, and just sits back down.
Claire residence.
You have a collect call from. Hey, it's Logan. This is for Naomi. Maybe we should hang out sometime. I don't know what you're doing this weekend. Okay, bye. And doesn't even give the chance to answer, just hangs it up. I'm good, and walks towards Morgana.
Who was that?
Official Slayer business.
Well, then you should tell the group because Claire is her.
Yeah,
is
did
her
they find
handler.
Elijah, or is he okay?
They're going right now to find Elijah, and that was just a check-in.
Yeah, we knew that.
To make sure we know that they're together.
They went together.
We knew that already.
They were in the same vehicle
Yes.
together.
Yes.
So what did she call about?
I wrote it down and I ate it. I can't now remember. It might have been something about going somewhere and meeting someone.
Meeting who?
Don't answer my phone again.
Yeah. That's fair. Sorry.
And then we cut back over to Morgana and Logan.
All right. I'm gonna bang on the thing when we get there, and then push it open and just say, it's us, just checking in on you.
You open the door to an empty mausoleum.
Right. Did you leave anything other than blood? I guess.
Heading in and looking around, you don't see anything left. You see kind of where he was sitting, and that's it.
As I have situational awareness.
What does that mean?
It means I get +2 to perception rolls.
Okay, go ahead and make that perception. It'll be perception and notice.
Perception and notice.
Can I also do one with just listening? Because I have
Sure.
shitty eyesight.
So, I'm just trying to understand. So Logan called you, only spoke to you.
No. Logan called the house, and I answered the phone.
Right, but she called Claire's house, but you don't have a message for Claire. It had to have been a message for you.
Well, no. The message was, we are together, as you know, calling to check in. We're okay. We need to maybe hang out sometime with people for safety reasons.
Who hang out with who?
I think me and Logan are supposed to hang out. I imagine for training. For training, we're gonna train.
And I imagine Noma's face gets very red and flustered.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna delicately walk over to the side table and grab a piece of paper and fold one of those fortune things, and then I'm gonna hold it up to you and be like, pick a number.
That seems like a trap.
It's not. Pick a number.
Oh, 2.
1 through 4. 2. Okay. 1, 2. Pick another number.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna show it to Claire, and it's like Logan and Naomi sitting in a tree. And be like, shut it back, and then put it in my pocket, and just look at Claire and be like, okay.
What did it say?
Nothing. It's fine. Just some witch stuff. Just me and Claire only. I apologize.
I don't like this. I don't like it.
It's okay.
No.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
But
enjoy.
What? All right. Okay. I see what you're doing. I see how you play. You've outfoxed me this time, but you won't get me again. I need to sit here by this phone.
I'm sure you do.
Because, well, I mean, just so I can pass it to Claire as she asked when someone calls, if they do.
Right.
And they want to talk to Claire.
You ever played a game called MASH?
No.
Hard cut back to Logan and Morgana.
Morgana, because she was the first one to go in and look around, and that there was nothing in there, and she calls out, I'll take a closer look, but I don't think he's here. Maybe, hey, can you check like over there? I feel like if he's anywhere, maybe he kind of went out a little further. Just do like a lap or some shit.
Okay. Logan doesn't. All right. It just like walks out and goes to do their lap. I don't know what I'm looking for, but sure.
Just like tracks or something. He might have like wandered off, And Morgana will take out her cigarette pack and a pen, and write a P.O. box address, and just leave the pack on the thing, the whatever, the grave thing there, and say, shame he didn't get to say goodbye, and then just walk out and close the door.
When you go to walk out, you just hear, thank you.
No worries. Keep in touch.
Yeah, and then Logan gets back around from the lap, having not found anything.
No tracks or nothing?
I got cemetery. That's what I got. Just for miles.
Alrighty. Well, I guess we can head back then. He must have fucked off.
That's oh. At least he's not dead, right? Because if he was dead, he'd still be here. So
Yeah.
There's the okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, let's go. By the way, I called Naomi. Asked
Good.
them to hang out. So
Oh hell yeah. Good.
hopefully they say yes when we get back. I don't really know.
They're gonna I can only assume they're sitting next to that fucking phone waiting for you to call again. Just on the off chance. Listen, we should probably
Should I
go, or
call
else she's gonna
again?
give us. No, she's gonna give us self-anxiety. We gotta go back and just you could see her in person. It'll be fine.
Okay.
I'll drive fast. I promise. It'll be fine.
Okay.
All right, and then I guess we hard cut to arriving back at the house. Moving the board out of the way of the doorway, heading in, placing the board back. Claire has tried to get up about 6 different times. It finally succeeded, like 5 minutes before you got home, and is in the kitchen when you arrive.
Why did you let her get it? God damn it, Claire. And I'll go into the kitchen. And I'll eye Naomi and be like, on the way there.
I'm gonna kind of look around and be like, I also have business in the kitchen.
I don't have business in the kitchen. The phone's not gonna ring because everyone's back now. So I'm gonna head to the living room and just take a seat for a while, relax. Been real stressed out. Phone duty. It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. Lots of responsibility. Speaking of phone duty, I don't know who I called earlier. Did anybody answer?
I answered the phone. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seemed really important. And I'm excited to go on a mission of fun with you.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you like making fun of me right now?
No. I'm just I've never been in a position with someone that I felt comfortable asking that to, because most people when they hang out with me die. So
Well, I might do that anyway. So that's perfect.
Well, I don't want you to die. That's not why I'm asking you to hang out with me.
No. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best not to do. I promised Morgana. I have to. I gotta. Keep my eyes out. Gotta keep a watch. But I'm gonna do my best not to do that. I'm just saying. I'm already kind of comfortable. I've made my peace. I have a will for the stuff back home.
That's smart.
Yeah. So
From the kitchen, you just hear, put down the shovel.
I mean, normally when I leave the house is to go on patrol.
I mean,
So-
I would love to go patrol with you sometime.
Yeah? You want to go patrol? You want to go on a patrol?
I mean, cemeteries are romantic sometimes.
It can be. Okay, cool. Yeah. So let's I don't know, what, this weekend?
Yeah, can I maybe take you to Perky Sips first for a brew, or
Yeah, that'd be cool. Let's do that. And then
Right.
we can see if we can spot the vampires while we're there and then follow them out. And then
Yeah.
Is that too much? I should tone it down.
I have plenty of time. No, I'm in no
Okay.
hurry. I have so
Okay.
much time. It's crazy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right.
I would like to take over whatever Claire is doing now that has transpired in the living room and just be like, go sit down. Would you please? I don't care if you're sitting with books. But
No,
go
I
sit
just
down.
like to chop things.
But your brain is all rattled, and I don't want you with a knife chopping shit and then chopping your finger off. I can stitch your head. I can't fix that. So please, for the love of all things, just go sit down with the book. We need your brains, not your chopping.
Okay, well, here's the thing, and Claire kind of speaks to everyone at this point. She's like trying to figure out how to say this nicely. Logan is my responsibility for now, and the rest of you are not. You can crash here tonight, but without knowing what's going on with this Ancient One, we don't have a task. Go home, or go wherever you were before this. It's over. We did what we can.
Are you okay?
I will be.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Look, it's been a crazy couple of days, but I have a lot to reevaluate. And she kind of like touches her head again.
So you're telling all of us, we're dismissed from duty, I guess.
It is not my job to say that, but yeah.
I'm gonna look at Morgana and Naomi and kind of give them that look of like, I'm not going anywhere.
Claire. We still have a thing out there that can enthrall your Slayer. You really want us to leave you with that state of existence? Like, we got them away from the house for like a few hours tops. They're not gone. They're gonna come back. And they're gonna come back in force.
Probably.
I don't see the... Our whole job is killing things like this. We're not gonna leave you in a pinch. We're just not.
Is it the end of the world? And you're just not telling me?
No, I think you would know.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk over to the whiteboard and pick up the marker and hand it out to Claire and say, then where were we?
Claire looks at it, sighs for a moment, and realizing that a lot of people are like in the kitchen as well. Logan, can I talk to you out back?
Once again, Logan looks at Claire's face to make sure it's rhetorical. Gives Naomi a pat where their hand was on the shoulder, and then just follows Claire to the kitchen.
And Claire kind of like opens the back door, and evening is finally here. It's starting to get darker outside. Seems crazy. Walking out, Claire just shuts the door. And for the first time looks like steady, like doesn't look like we're about to pass out from this wound. And says, I am stepping down as your watcher.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm stepping down. It would be irresponsible to split my focus now that I know about this magic thing, but I am resigning in the morning, and I just wanted to say good job. It's been interesting working with you, and I'm really glad you're okay.
Are you okay?
I was unconscious for a long time, and
Yeah.
I don't really know, to be honest, but I will be okay.
Okay.
I think I just need to go.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Does that mean you're Do you have to leave?
I was thinking about it.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Do you want the real answer, or do you want me to lie to you?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, once you figure out which answer you want, you let me know. And Logan, like, doesn't want to outwardly lash out, cry, laugh, or do any of the things that they're feeling right now. So they are just like, okay, maybe some cookies before you go. Because I wasn't kidding about the cookie thing, that you make the best cookies. And I'm gonna go that way now. And
You're asking me to make you cookies?
well, I feel like, you're abandoning me in my time of need and all that.
In your time of
that you
need, please.
do
There are 3 people in there.
is if they don't make
That aren't
cookies,
going anywhere.
Claire, do I get to keep the house?
This is my house. What do you mean keep the house?
I'm just saying, if we're divorcing, I want the house.
Get inside, I'll make your damn cookies.
Thank you.
I think through the exhaustion of the day, everyone probably crashes here again. Probably falling asleep a little earlier than you were intending.
Still pretty exhausted from all the magic that I've been doing recently. I went to bed probably earlier than most people, but I also got up about the same time Claire did. And I like to think that I kind of tentatively went up into the kitchen tour with my book, and I was like, I don't know if it means anything, but if you want to look, I know it's a lot coming into this, but there's some pretty cool stuff out there if you're willing to learn and find people around you, and it's a whole new side of you. You get to be, because I don't know at this point, but I'm like, you get to be a watcher and a witch, and that's super cool. You could probably help Logan out with lots of stuff if you have magic. So definitely, take a look. I think we'd probably spend the morning, probably her very awkwardly, trying to avoid the watcher part of what I'm talking about while I'm flipping through. And
I think halfway through that, there's this enthusiastic, look at this, and she's going along with it for a little while, and then you've just realized that we're avoiding the watcher thing too much, and your eyes are kind of drawn to a large duffel bag that is near the back door. And she's just kind of nodding and looking at the book. None of it makes any sense to her, really. And then you see her putting some cookies into a Ziploc bag. And then she just looks at you.
I'm going to kind of look up at her and kind of just realize it's not really my place to ask. Yeah. But, call me. If you ever in need of any kind of magic help, I guess I'll leave you to whatever this is. And kind of pack myself and see myself out, reading the room that maybe I'm not the best of help in this particular moment.
She says thank you and promises to look you up if she has any questions. And then before anyone else wakes up, she picks up the duffel bag and heads out the back door.
I'm not going to stop her or probably even ask any questions. I'm just going to kind of wait.
And around this time, Naomi, you're stirring awake.
I think Naomi sleeps deeper than she slept in a minute. And when she wakes up, she looks for Morgana and she looks for Logan. she sees Penelope in the kitchen. Has the sense just from her face that one of them is probably missing. And I think she just kind of starts making breakfast. Like, she doesn't get to do like basic stuff a lot. So they just kind of sit down, they make some toast, and they make some eggs and bacon and whatever they can find in the fridge, potato pancakes, whatever. And when Logan comes, there's like a fancy breakfast that's like very rudimentary but plated well. And then one as well for Morgana, as like she and Penelope are probably like finishing up.
Morgana's up late, as usual. Trying to make herself as tired as she can be so that bad dreams don't come, that the sleep does. But there's also a little part of her that hopes that as she's keeping watch outside in the dark, she hears a voice. She doesn't. And goes to bed, wakes up to the smell of bacon and coffee and all these things. And as she watches Naomi be normal in a house, and yesterday seeing them with a person that they could be with, even though, early days, she gets a tightness in the chest, and she steps outside with a coffee and just probably, maybe Naomi's in the kitchen with Penelope, they're talking, maybe Logan is waking up or something, and they're chatting, maybe they're flirting, and there's the sense of maybe I'm not doing the right thing by him. And maybe when I leave, maybe they shouldn't.
So Logan wakes up all disheveled, like normal. Socks missing. Hair even greasier than it was yesterday. And kind of like rolls off the couch as everyone's kind of like hustling. And then like immediately goes to the kitchen, grabs a cookie, kind of like totally oblivious to like the mood and stuff that is happening. And it just kind of very much like in their own head, like, cool, I got a patrol date. This is sweet. And like kind of notices that everyone's kind of awkward. And like goes to take a bite of the cookie and just like, what?
I made you breakfast. We have a little extra.
Yeah, I'm down for breakfast. Oh, why is everybody sad?
Oh, cause we have extra.
Why is that sad? But wait, why do we have extra? She's gone already, isn't she?
Yeah, she's gone already.
That fucking bitch. And Logan just like stops, like stares at the cookie. I think this means I get to keep the house.
I mean, she's got magic, and she didn't like leave a deed or anything out, so technically it's still her house. So maybe she's gonna come back. She might have just like gone to study. I don't know. Like sometimes Morgana leaves, and like she always comes back. So like I think you'll be all right. Like, and like Morgana can be Morgana's kind of my watcher. She like watches me, make sure I don't do any fucking stupid stuff. So.
Yeah, no, the council's a little bit more involved than that. But squatters laws, I think we can stay here as long as we want, and since she's not here, it becomes our house anyway. So don't quote me on that though. I'm not sure if that's true. And Logan will just like sit on the counter and like basically like, because Logan's never been allowed to sit on the counter before, and like just starts eating their breakfast and starts talking about like all the things they want to redecorate the house as. Like, well, if we take that wall down over there, we could turn this whole thing into a training room.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's load bearing, but like, I don't think that matters.
I mean, if you leave the frame up, you should be fine.
Yeah, right? And leave the frame up. I'm a slayer. I mean, come on. Of course I'm gonna leave the frame up. That's good to know. And just like Logan is just not. I feel like Morgana would probably see that Logan's like not processing and like just like it's just like, okay, cool. Like they left, that's great. This is my house now. Like not fully understanding the lack of support they are now gonna have in this big dreary world by themselves.
And I think the camera kind of pans up in a way from this conversation that's happening in this kitchen. Pans up, pans away, and we flash forward to an unknown point of time to the audience. We just know it's sometime later. We see this same house. The door is fixed. It's all cleaned up. There's a new entertainment center placed in with a little TV. And it's nighttime. We see Logan probably having fallen asleep on the couch just out of habit of where to sleep in this place. No one else is there. It's just Logan. And Logan, you hear the sound of the back door, like the doorknob jiggling. And then you hear the door open. You hear footsteps in the kitchen. You hear cabinets being opened. What would you like to do?
Grab my baseball bat and sneakily walk into the kitchen.
Yeah, you tiptoe into the kitchen, baseball bat ready. You flip on the light switch, and you see, like, spinning to face you, you see Claire. This huge wound on her arm.
Great.
She looks way different than you're used to seeing her. Way more, not that she didn't dress battle ready before, but she looks like she's been out with no rest, pretty much. Old bandages wrapped around places, duct tape on shoes, like she has been out on the road, and she is raiding the same first aid cabinet that you used to sneak in and raid. And she just kind of drops one of the boxes of bandages, falls and bandages slide across the whole floor, and you just look at each other for a moment.
Are you humming Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Oh, it hurt.
I love
Pull
you
it together.
so much. Just so much.
She can't get it together.
Love
Keep
hate.
bringing us back. That's all I'm saying. You keep bringing us back in.
That's true.
So,
You
Well,
could
it is
get rid of this
punishment.
problem.
You're doing this to yourself.
yeah.
God, my cheeks hurt so bad.
Don't want to die before you go on your a date. A patrol.
No, it sounds like I have a weird mirror ritual happening downstairs.
cats are like, that's a great idea.
We still
love
have an
this
ancient
group.
one out there.
I love this table. I love you. I'm not sure why though, because you torture the shit out of me every time I come play with you.
It's
do this to me.
masochism. Is
But-
what
It's
it
an
is.
abusive
True.
relationship that
I
I
It
love
is.
spicy food. I think that's where it
Stockholm.
stems from.
Yeah.
Stockholm syndrome.
All of that.
Oh dear.